Hello, I'm the real king of BC, and today I want to talk about introducing new characters into an already established franchise. Now, introducing new characters into an already established franchise or series can be very tricky. Sometimes there are people that just outright don't like the new characters, whether they are good or bad. Right. It takes a lot of good writing in order to make new characters work, and while it is not impossible, there's still some getting used to when it comes to introducing new characters. For instance, how do they stack up with the veteran characters? There are going to be a lot of comparisons with these new characters and the veteran characters, and obviously you're not going to want that. It'd be best to start with absolute zero when making a new character. They can't be more powerful than the main character from the beginning. They have to earn it. They have to work towards that. And if they do become stronger than the main character, or when they do become stronger than the main character slash the veteran character in question, then there has to be a reason that actually makes sense. There can't be a reason that doesn't make sense or is poorly explained. No. It has to be almost perfectly explained, and it has to make a lot of sense. You can't have your fans, or even you, questioning it or going back on your word. You don't want to retcon things here. I mean, not all retcons are bad, sure, but you don't want to have to put yourself in that situation. So, today I'm going to be talking about both the pros and the cons of introducing a new character into a long-running series. Or rather, how to do that and how to not do that. So, yeah. But today I'm going to be using video game characters as an example. Two fairly well-known video game characters who people like and dislike in their own regards. The characters that I'm going to be talking about are Shadow the Hedgehog from the Sonic the Hedgehog series and Spartan Lock from the Halo series. I want to start with Shadow because he's actually a very good example of how you introduce a new character into an already established universe. He first made his debut in Sonic Adventure 1, and while not everybody is fond of him, a lot of people liked his introduction, and they also liked his redemption story because he started out as a villain. But as it turns out, there was way more to him than anyone could have thought. He's actually a fairly well fleshed out character. As for Spartan Lock, not as much. For now, I'm just going to stay on Shadow. Right now, it might not seem like it, but at one point, Shadow was one of the most popular characters in Sonic. Heck, he was even more popular than Sonic himself, if you can believe that. Yeah, the 2000s were a wild time, but anyway. At first, Shadow was going to stay dead, but because he was so popular, they just decided to bring him back. That's how popular he was. Now, there are a couple conflicting points on that, but I believe that's the main story. Plus, it just sounds better anyway. But yeah, Shadow is still beloved to this day, and honestly, he's a fairly interesting character. He's not just an edgy version of Sonic the Hedgehog. No, there's more to him than that. He's actually a fairly complex character. There are motivations that actually make sense for why he does the thing that he does. He's not just a dark reflection of Sonic. He has his own personality, his own feelings. And while him and Sonic aren't necessarily best friends, they do get along very well. They used to be rivals, but now they're more like close comrades or allies. Again, they don't hang out with each other all the time, sure, but they're not necessarily bickering back and forth now. But yeah. However, as for Spartan Lock is way more controversial than Shadow. Spartan Lock was introduced in Halo 5, a game that a lot of people would consider the worst Halo game, or one of the worst Halo games, possibly. Now, I'm not too familiar with Halo. I've done some research here or there, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But Spartan Lock, a lot of people don't like Spartan Lock because the way he was introduced was not very good. In Halo 5, the way he's introduced, he's supposed to be the new main character. Master Chief was the main character of the Halo series for most of the games, except for Halo 2, where, as it turns out, the Arbiter was the main character. but Master Chief was still in the story. But in Halo 5, Master Chief isn't really in the story that much. He doesn't really play as big of a role as he usually does, and Spartan Lock is the one who takes center stage. And in the game, Spartan Lock is said to be stronger than Master Chief. Weirdly, though, him and Master Chief get into a scrap, sure, but even though Spartan Lock was actually able to best Chief for at least a couple seconds, as it turns out, he's still not stronger than Master Chief, because Master Chief was still able to get up and beat him down, making the whole point of, well, he's stronger than Master Chief, really pointless when you think about it. But yeah, I don't really have much of a personal attachment to Spartan Lock like I do Shadow. But a lot of people don't like Spartan Lock, and there are very few people that actually do like him. And a lot of people would say that Spartan Lock is, in general, just a bad/terrible character. Right? Some people would say that he should have been written better, but most people would just say that he was just not a good character in general. So, yeah. Obviously, Shadow is the better of these two because, well, Shadow was the one who came out on top when it came to introducing a new character into a long-running series. You have to look at examples like Shadow when introducing new characters into a long-running series, be it video games, TV, or movies even. Spartan Lock is an example of how not to do that. He's the wrong way to introduce a new character into a long-running series. You can actually learn a lot of lessons from that. Alright, hopefully you learn a lot of the correct lessons and not the wrong lessons. And don't course correct and damage control for no reason. And actually try to fix things going forward. But that's actually all I want to talk about. If you have any more examples of how to and how to not introduce new characters into a long-running series, please let me know. Please show as much support as you physically can. I have a Facebook and an Instagram, and all of the details about that will be in the description. If you have any more things that you want to talk to me about, please let me know in the comment section. Please have a nice civil discussion with me if you want to. In the comment section, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hey, maybe even share the video if you like it so much. Maybe share it with your friends, share it with your family. Just show as much support as you physically can because I want to grow this channel as much as physically possible. So, yeah. King out.